The mystery of Grogu is slowly starting to unravel before our eyes. I mean, just imagine before the last episode of The Mandalorian, we didn't even know his name. Now, we not only know his name, we know a lot about his backstory, and one of those backstories included Grogu receiving Jedi training in the Jedi Temple before and during the Clone Wars, supposedly. All we have is the information to go from Ahsoka Tano, who, weirdly enough, does not remember Grogu, although they were both younglings at the same time. I mean, Grogu is 50 years old, so it matches perfectly as Ahsoka was brought inside the Jedi Temple, and time-wise it seems that they were brought up together, but for some reason Ahsoka does not remember Grogu, so I'm gonna leave a comment down below to get your guys' perspective on that. But whatever the reason or whatever the case it is, we definitely know that Grogu was raised inside the Jedi Temple and was trained in the Force. That is, of course, evident as Grogu does have a basic knowledge of the Force and knows how to use it, albeit very simplified. If we go in depth about Grogu's training and who is the specific Jedi that trained Grogu, we have to remember two things here. One, Grogu does not wield a lightsaber or presumably does not even know how to wield a lightsaber, so it is safe to assume that he was not taught in swordsmanship. So presumably the Jedi who trained Grogu is not a very skilled duelist or swordsman by all accounts, but this Jedi is a powerful Force user or a knowledgeable Force user to be able to train a youngling so well. And number two, this Jedi was presumably more of a Jedi Sentinel class than a warrior, meaning they were more focused on the Force and the knowledge surrounding the Force rather than one-on-one combat and their skills with a lightsaber. The easy answer, we could go with Yoda or Yaddle. Both of them were very Force skilled and good swordsmen, but they're mostly known for their Force usage. However, I've found this not to be the case, since Yoda did train a lot of younglings but was never seen in the movies or in the comics training anything resembling his own species such as Grogu. You might say those were the movies back then and they didn't know about Baby Yoda or Grogu, but that could easily be retconned with the modern day novel or a modern day comic. But regardless, I don't think it's either Yaddle, since in Legends she died. In canon we don't know what happened to her, she just disappeared, and hopefully we'll get more information soon about her. But nothing indicates that Yoda trained Grogu. It would have to be a Jedi that was very close with the knowledge of the Force and could be trusted with secrets, especially Grogu, since he seems to be the missing factor in all of this, and that's why it is a strong possibility and very much probable that the Jedi who trained Grogu in the ways of the Force, as Ahsoka mentions, was the Jedi librarian Jocasta Nu. This is why there's a big kerfuffle in the comics between Emperor Palpatine, Vader, and Jocasta Nu, especially about the younglings. You see, Sidious was adamant with grabbing as much Force-sensitive children around the galaxy as possible in order to ingratiate them in the ways of the Sith. In the comics, we see Vader relentlessly pursue Jocasta Nu just because of that knowledge. But before Vader could capture Jocasta Nu, what she does is erase the entire databank of everything that had to do with the Republic, with the Jedi Order, and especially with the younglings. No trace could ever go back to the younglings that were about to be ingratiated in the Jedi Order, brought here, and the ones active that were trained in the Force, and that leads us to Grogu. Why wasn't Grogu seen with the other younglings and was never seen trained by anyone? This is why I think Grogu was a secret even to the Jedi Order, to many inside the Jedi Order. In fact, the Jedi Council might have been aware, of course, but they entrusted Jocasta Nu with that secret. For some reason, Grogu was a special case. And to compound that fact, remember what I said at the beginning of the video. This Jedi that trained Grogu might have been a Jedi Sentinel, less to do with swordsmanship with a skilled duelist, which Jocasta Nu was not, and more of a Jedi Sentinel who used the Force mostly and had extensive knowledge about it. This completely aligns with Jocasta Nu, who would have been the perfect trainer for Grogu. To add more to the Jocasta Nu theory is the secrets that she kept inside her secret room within the Jedi Temple that nobody really was aware of, including Palpatine and Vader. Anakin spent most of his life inside those walls, never knowing about the secret chamber that Jocasta Nu kept away from most of the Jedi. Inside that room was a Sentinel droid who protected the chambers. There were many Sith and Jedi artifacts inside, including Momin's helmet, so we could easily say that Jocasta Nu was not only a Jedi librarian but a secret keeper, a gatekeeper to a lot of knowledge that went inside the temple, and not a lot were privy to that information. This is why I definitely think Jocasta Nu was the master behind Grogu. She trained him in the ways of the Force as much as she could before Order 66. Due to Grogu's age and due to that species and Grogu's age, we still are not aware how do they function. You see, Grogu is 50 years old by this point, the time we see him in The Mandalorian. So back then, it is possible that he couldn't even make simple gestures or function simply with the Force. And Jocasta Nu probably had a lot of trouble with training Grogu, although this makes her the perfect candidate to have patience with such a youngling. During the Clone Wars, Grogu would have been 30-ish years old, so that would mean even younger than he is now, where he can't even speak or perform simple duties. Imagine back then when Jocasta Nu had him. Why was Grogu though kept a secret, as apparently even Ahsoka does not remember her or ever recollect seeing Grogu in the Jedi Temple? I think in the end it all comes down to his species. It is not a mystery that his species is that of Yoda and Yaddle's. Then, compounding the fact that Yaddle disappeared all of a sudden, vanished from canon, it all comes together when we look at Grogu's mystery. Something to do with Yoda or Yaddle. I'm definitely not saying that Yoda and Yaddle were mischievous in any way, and that's why it had to be kept secret. Grogu is not a bastard that had to be hidden away, but there is a reason why he was kept secret, since Ahsoka does not remember him or ever seen him inside the Jedi Temple walls, and that's very, very strange for a Jedi youngling who supposedly was trained in the Force. And I think it was by Jocasta Nu. So that opens up a whole nother can of worms that we might go through another video, but hope you enjoyed this revelation that I think definitely Jocasta Nu trained Grogu. But what do you think as well? Talk to me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.